Hi everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. And over the next couple days, I'm going to just kind of riff about some topics. And that's basically what I do in the daily delivery every day. If you're not familiar with the DD, I pick a topic. Yeah, I think about that topic, of course. I got to realize if I've got enough meat there to do 3 to 8 minutes, whatever, however long I want to do. And then I turn on the camera and talk. These aren't scripted. And I don't use jump cuts. And jump cuts are a lazy person's way to explain things. That means they say something and then they've got to stop the camera and restart to say something else, stop the camera and start to say something else. And it's all jumbled together and it's hopping around. No, I turn on the camera and talk. And today we're going to do that about the impatience of fan bases. And I'm not just talking about Kansas State. I'm talking about around the country. This is going on all across sports. Why do you think there's so many open jobs now? So many coaches being fired. You don't have time to build or rebuild. The time is now. And there's a good reason. First, please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Get that out of the way. Subscribe. Thank you. Leave comments. Hit the thumbs up. All that stuff. The transfer portal and NIL has weaponized fan bases. There's no excuse to have to rebuild. Go to the portal. There's no excuse to lose players. Pay them NIL. There's just no excuses that really work with fans. And in some ways, they're exactly right. We've gone from treating college athletics somewhere between high school and pro to these dudes are making money, particularly at the power conference level. They're making a lot of money in some cases, and fans are treating them as they should be as professionals. It's a little bit jarring. But also the lack of patience comes in with a cold hard truth. With as many openings there are driven by this impatience, and not just by fans, I mean, big boosters, administrators, athletic directors, they don't want to hear about your struggles. They want you to win. And they don't want to know about the problems. They want you to win. And the other side of that is the fact that when you have this many openings, it gets competitive to hire the right coach. And what do you do to get the right coach? You pay him more money, not just up front, not just in salary, but also the buyout. Because the reality is there's not patience for coaches. The demand for immediate victory is everywhere. And with that, you sign a 5-year contract, coaches get the 5 years. Whether it's in time or financial ways, it's honored. The problem is in this NIL environment, when you have to buy out a coach, where's that money come from? It's not like most athletic departments are dealing with a surplus of cash. Even some of the better financed programs around the country, including Big Ten institutions that have a massive media rights deal, are looking for more money. And the thing is, there's no end to it. You give them more money, they will do more things with that money, which will amp up the pressure to win, which will then lead to bigger buyouts, which will lead to more deficits. There's no getting ahead of this current trajectory. It's always going to end up with there's not enough money or patience to do what you need to do. And again, do coaches deserve patience? Now look, I know some jobs you walk into and they're a total disaster. But for other jobs, yeah, you should be able to pick up and win. The Penn State coach, the new one, deserves no time to rebuild. Use the portal, right? I would actually agree with that one. You should have the money, the resources, the tradition to get it all done. That's also why James Franklin has had a great deal of success. In one down season, he was gone. And we see that, of course, at Kansas State. Chris Kleiman is going through quite literally the definition of an average season, matched against the reality that everyone, including myself, thought this team would be really good. But sometimes things don't go right. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how Kansas State is handling some of this and the coaches and why the fans are so upset. Because I get it. I do. I just am somehow become more patient. And that might be the most shocking thing I've said in a long time. We'll see how this shakes out across the country. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you've got a coach that maybe should be fired or not fired, you can't quite decide. The decision is don't fire him, because this is an awful year to be hiring a coach. And not only will the candidates be less numerous than the jobs, the candidates can demand more and more money. They can pit departments against each other in a bidding war to get their services. Bigger contracts and bigger buyouts, and we're back in the same circle. If they fail after 2 years, you're paying $50 million to get rid of them. It's a never-ending cycle. I wish I had a solution, but while I get why fans are upset, demanding, and quite honestly very vocal, I also find it a bit exhausting, because there seems to be pleasure in displeasure. There seems to be a need to be unhappy and to be vocal. And that isn't the best thing to happen to college athletics. It's a weird world in which we live. It's an altering world in which I work. And I don't see any solution, any change for the positive in sight. And that is worth not having patience over.